This is White Mountains Today here on White Mountain TV 16. And joining me in the studio is Heather. Good morning, Heather, from the Local Grocer. How are you today?
I'm well. How are you?
I am very well, thank
Good.
you. And what's going on at the Local Grocer? We've seen you, we saw you before Christmas, so we found out all the kind of the variety of non-food items that you have there. And of course, then you were here a couple weeks ago. We were talking about some other things. What are we going to talk about today?
Well, I thought we'd talk about all the different local food that we have available right now. A lot of times people think summer local food, especially in a climate like this, but really we have so much going on for local food, and I just thought maybe we'd just talk about some of the farms that we're getting food from and some of the different options that we have.
Hence the name, Local Grocer.
The Local Grocer, yeah.
And so let's talk about that. I mean, the vegetables, obviously in the summer, you get all the the farm stand vegetables, but you still have local vegetables.
We still have a few things. We still have some root vegetables, root storage vegetables left. So we still have some celeriac, some rutabaga. We even have some. I think we have a little bit of winter squash left, and we did have carrots. We're getting them. Heartseed Farm over on West Side Road has hoop houses, so they're able to go out and harvest carrots in the winter, which are incredibly sweet, really nice.
I've heard that, winter carrots.
Winter carrots,
I hadn't heard about that until recently.
Well, they're just carrots, but you can winter over carrots. So they have a hoop house, so that means they can go in and harvest. Now, with temperatures like this, they're not harvesting, obviously, because the ground's like completely frozen. But with the hoop house, which is able to keep it a little bit warmer, when we had a little bit of a warm spell earlier in the month, they were able to go out and harvest carrots. So we had winter carrots, which are incredibly sweet because the coldness really brings out the sugars in the carrots. So, winter and spring carrots are notorious for being incredibly sweet and a really nice treat. So, yeah. Oh,
very cool.
Yeah.
Now, and then also, as we just saw in some of the little video there, meats.
Yeah, we have a lot going on right now. We try to buy as much of our meat as we can locally, and then whatever we can buy locally, we buy regionally and kind of move out from there, and we really don't get too far away from the Northeast. But right now we have a lot going on. We buy beef from Peppermint Fields Farm in Freiburg, and they're pasture raised, and they are grain finished, but all natural grains, no added antibiotics or hormones or anything like that. Really delicious meat. We do cuts of meat as well as the ground beef, and we're also getting meat now from Narrow Path Farm in Brownfield, and they actually are strictly grass-fed. And the nutritional value of a grass-fed beef, a lot of people don't realize is it's much better nutrition, lower in saturated fat, higher in omega-3s. So it's a healthier meat, and obviously knowing what's being fed to the animals and where it's coming from is really nice too. So we have local beef. We bought pork from Earl Family Farm. We bought a pig from them. So we have all sorts of different cuts: ground pork and bacon and pork chops and things like that.
Bacon.
Yeah. Yes, we have that. And they're right in Conway, so everybody knows Earl Family Farm around here. Yeah. So and everything is top-notch quality from there, and we just love getting things from them. So that was a real treat to be able to get that from them. So we have pork, and of course we carry the Sherman Farm milk, which everybody is familiar with around here. Most people are, I should say.
Got some swung in last week to get some Sherman Farm milk from you guys.
And we just love that element to it too, that people can, the reusability of the bottles and the glass, and the fact that it's completely non-leaching and that it's reusable, and that there's like this really low, waste going on there in the use of that. Yeah. So we just love that element. And of course, they're very well cared for animals and naturally raised, and they don't add any type of growth hormone or they don't use medicated feed, and we feel really good about that.
And they have their chocolate milk cows.
Right.
which are amazing, because I go in there and there's chocolate milk. I'm like, well, I've never seen a chocolate milk cow, but they must have some. And their chocolate milk is just incredible.
Yeah,
it's one of those things that just sip it because it's so good.
It's a treat. Yeah.
Yeah, we got some in the house. It was there for about 30 seconds.
Right.
Where'd it go?
Yeah, poor boys.
We had a quart of chocolate milk. It didn't last long.
Yeah.
And then different times during the year, obviously, when you get different produce, things will come in. So it's almost like one of those things like, stop in, check out what you might have.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, obviously the seasonal produce changes, but even the meats change as well. We're getting more and more. When Narrow Path Farm, I mentioned, we just brought their ground beef in, but they're also going to be starting to do broilers, so we'll be able to get truly local broilers. Right now we're just getting them from the Northeast. naturally raised, and to be able to get chicken and broilers that are really raised in the valley will be, in certified organic feed is going to be, we're really looking forward to that, to be able to offer that to the community as a place to get that. So that will be pretty soon, I'd say sometime in the next, well, in the spring, I'll say, just to be on the safe side. We'll be able to offer that, which we're pretty excited about that.
And you mentioned the certified organic. I mean, that anybody can say that they have like natural food or whatever, but that certified organic, there's a very strict criteria to be classified as certified organic.
And Narrow Path Farm uses certified organic feed in the raising of their chickens. So that's and as anyone who raises animals knows, it's it's double the cost to do that. And so to make that commitment, we with our chickens that we that we raise for meat for the cafe, and as well as the eggs that we sell on the market, we use certified organic feed, and it's a commitment to not only the meat that you eat, but also to the planet, to be able to support that, not using pesticides and supporting the use of those chemicals is. So there's like another element to that besides just the health element, that people who purchase that are really kind of voting for a greener and cleaner planet, which is
and organic fresh eggs taste like no other.
Oh yeah, and we bring green scraps home to our chickens. They're very spoiled. yeah.
And you also have probably one of the best selections of gluten-free products in the valley.
Yes, we
easily.
do. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to, before we get off topic, I forgot to mention Beach Hill Ranch bison. So don't want to not, they're in North Waterford, Maine. We do carry bison, ground bison.
Really?
Yeah. So that's an incredibly healthy meat. And what they can provide, they have a sister ranch, which is in the Midwest, which we, they have to supplement some of that when they can't provide for all of our needs. But it's the same bloodlines and the same quality. So I had to mention them too, because they're a great local partner. Yeah. So the gluten-free, we have a whole aisle of gluten-free foods, and so there's a great selection there in the market. Everything from mixes to pre-made things, all sorts of baking ingredients, and crackers and cookies and snacks, and a lot of food bars, a lot of different protein bars and things like that. So, because sometimes that is the thing with gluten-free, it's hard to have something on the go. You have to think ahead a little bit more. You can't just stop in and get food anywhere. Which also brings us to the cafe, which everything on our menu can be made gluten-free. So we offer our breakfast, our burritos. We have gluten-free wraps. So we need the wraps. We also make a bread that has no gluten-containing ingredients on premise, and so you get nice homemade bread with your sandwich that you may get with all naturally raised meats and cheeses and organic vegetables. So everything in the cafe can be made gluten-free, which is pretty great. Usually almost everything in our deli is gluten-free. Sometimes there's a pasta salad in there or something, but a lot of times we do gluten-free pasta salad, and the people who don't have to eat gluten-free enjoy it as well. Yeah. So usually everything in the deli is, most everything in the deli is gluten-free.
That's great.
Yeah, and then there's the bakery. So we have a whole bakery case which is devoted just to gluten-free items. So we have the raw gluten-free, dairy-free chocolates, which have been there for a while when Katrina owned the market, and then we've kind of taken that and changed and made our own chocolates, but it's still gluten-free, dairy-free, and free of refined sugar. So we use either honey or agave, usually honey, in those. And then we also have a more traditional bakery rack, which is all gluten-free, and those will sometimes contain dairy or butter or minimal, but everything in the case is gluten-free, and so that's kind of nice too. I mean,
there's so much. I mean, when you go into the store, it's not a huge store, but you've really got everything packed in there and nicely displayed, and so definitely check it out. And of course, you're located
3358 White Mountain Highway in North Conway, so just north of the village, right by Maestro's and the Red Carriage Commons, or across from Stonehurst Manor, right before the moat, on the left heading north.
And your hours are?
We are open from 8 to 6, Sunday through Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday we are open until 7, so 8 to 7.
A little bit more time to do your shopping.
A little bit more time for, people are a little bit later on the weekend, so
that's great.
We're staying open later too.
Well, Heather, good to see you again.
Nice to see you.
And so definitely check out the Local Grocer. And we'll be back here in a minute on White Mountains Today.